Hey.
Hello, hello, hello.
Here we are. Cheers, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's 7 p.m., so you know what that means. It's time for the BlabberMalt Show. Let me take a sip here.
Welcome, welcome.
So if you don't know, Tuesdays, 7 p.m., we do a live show out at a brewery or in the super secret basement lair of the BlabberMalt Show. We talk about beer, brewing, and bullcrap. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. If you're a return guest, well, thanks for coming back. I don't know why you're back, but
Thank you for coming back for the 105th episode.
It is number 105, June 10th, 2025. And Tom, I don't know, we're with the hoppiest dudes I know.
Are these the Hoppy Dudes?
These are the Hoppy Dudes, and I'm the only one that doesn't have a Hoppy Dude shirt. I gotta. I know. God,
You're a Hoppy maiden.
I'm a Hoppy maiden.
You're not a Hoppy Dude.
I'm not a Hoppy Dude. No, but thanks.
We should sub in Maria for you. 'Cause she has
Come on, Maria, get in here. Or take your shirt off, Maria. Ooh.
Well,
I second it.
Hey.
Yeah, come on.
Hey now.
All right, this show's gone off the rails already.
I know. So we're at your guys' new production facility, and we're not in Hinckley. Yes, we stopped there first, and they're doing arts and crafts down there. Yeah. So we got back in the car and rushed over here. My bad, but we're here now in Medina, checking out the shiny new stainless. It's pretty cool.
And Dave, where are we broadcasting on? Where can they find us?
Well, Facebook. We're not on YouTube yet, but we'll be up there tomorrow on Spotify. We're the BlabberMalt Show on both of those platforms and Spotify. We're at BlabberMalt on X, Instagram, and Threads. So
like, follow,
subscribe, comment, share. I'm waiting for people to pop on. I got my laptop here, so maybe we can interact a little better with people. We'll wait for it to come up here. I'm not going to sit here and hover on it right now, but
and then you kind of mentioned, so you guys we're here at the production facility, but you also have your place in Hinckley, which is located where?
In Hinckley.
In Hinckley.
In Hinckley. Yeah, so Ridge and 303. Yeah. It's just our small tap house. So bar in there, no food. You can bring food in with you. We have food trucks periodically. Check Facebook.
live music every weekend.
Live music on the weekends. Yep. So Julie does a good job with keeping that updated on Facebook. So if you follow us on there, you get all the info.
All right. And you got this little secret cove in Medina here that we've been able to discover. Our first time here.
Cove usually means small, right?
There can be big coves.
Okay.
Cove to me just means a big, wide hole.
That's what this is.
it's a big wide hole. Thank you, Tom. Thanks
Good
for that,
place to
Tom.
tickle your pickle.
Nice.
Sometimes the best place.
That came after asking Maria to take her shirt off.
Yeah, I know. So we're happy to be here. Usually at the top of the show, we just like to get everybody's update on what they did this weekend. What'd you guys get into? I mean, brewers are always just working.
What did we do this past weekend?
We had our barbecue cook-off.
Yeah, we had our second annual barbecue cook-off. Turned out we only had 4 people that entered into it as far as making the barbecue, but we had a heck of a turnout as far as people that came and judged and stuff like that. So it was a good day.
It was interesting also because barbecue, you think ribs. We had one that did ribs, one that did meatloaf, and 2 pulled pork. Yeah,
Nice.
Meatloaf was still
That was out at the tap room?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Which is located in Hinckley, right?
in Hinckley, yes.
1369 Ridge.
It was funny.
Yeah.
People got there at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Set up their smokers.
Two got there at 7, and they set up their smokers, and then they made me breakfast because I was there to make sure that they were all set up and had power for their smokers and everything. And then we had another group come in around 10, and they set up their smoker and started smoking and everything. And then last guy showed up kind of like an hour before, and he had it in a crock pot. He did all of his work at home. So next year, they've all, one of the takeaways from this year's event was all of them wanted to actually come and do the smoking at the site. So next year everybody will be there smoking all at the same time. And the dudes had thought about doing a kegs and eggs in the morning. So we would make eggs, we'd make breakfast and serve beer, and then we'd go right into the barbecue side of it once their stuff is ready around 2.
So if you think you're any good at barbecue, sign up and let's find out.
Yep.
So generally is the first or second weekend in June?
Yeah, usually it's right around Father's Day. So this year we did it the week before because this weekend coming up is the Ashland Ale Fest, which is the Saturday before. So we didn't want to cut ourselves from being able to go to the Ashland Ale Fest. So we did it a week before.
Nice. So what kind of smokers do people bring? They have like trailer, offset, charcoal.
Actually, the one was was propane, and the other two were wood pellet.
Okay. All right. Cool. I smoked some ribs this past weekend, and they were terrible. Terrible. They were overcooked. Yeah, they were overcooked.
Do you have a smoker, Dave?
Yeah, I have several, but you wouldn't know it from that performance. It was awful.
So that was Saturday,
It was Sunday.
Sunday. Okay.
Yeah, Sunday.
Anything
All day
going?
Sunday.
Anything on Saturday or Friday?
Friday was just a normal day for us. Saturday was food truck and live music. So usually,
No food truck because they canceled.
that's right, they did cancel. Food trucks are so hard, so hard. You get everything all set up. They're all anxious and everything that they want to be there, and then they cancel on you. And that's, things happen. We understand, but
It's frustrating.
we've had a lot of it this year so far. So.
Yeah, when you're counting on them to provide the food for the
Yeah.
day, it's
And you
it's,
advertise the heck out of it, so we're promoting them to make sure that they get the business and everything, and then last minute they contact us and say they can't make it. So it's rough, but it is what it is. I mean, things happen. So
yeah.
Eventually, we won't have that issue. I mean, that's why we got this place. It's big enough to have a kitchen
Yeah.
eventually. So at that point, we won't have to rely on other people.
So Dustin says he's going to see you next weekend at Red Wagon. Well, that's us. We're going to be at Red Wagon.
That's us.
Not you guys.
So, Dave, did you get wrecked on the deck?
Of course I did. It was Marblehead. It's summer. Yeah, of course we did. I mean, you might as well just, for my weekend updates, it's just going to be the same thing every week. Pretty
go to
much.
the island.
Go to the island,
wrecked.
get wrecked. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Come
How about
home
you?
and suffer for the first day and a half after you get back.
And then hit the BlabberMalt Show.
and then the BlabberMalt.
Hit it again, yeah. See, you know how it works.
Yeah, got it.
The vicious cycle.
How about you, Tom? What would you get into?
We unfortunately got sucked into the Medina passport the last time we were at Hoppy Dudes in Hinckley there a couple weeks ago for their anniversary party. We weren't going to do it, but saw when the party was. We're actually going to be in town this year for it, so we started that. And this past weekend we were out on the far east side and figured on the way back, why not stop and hit a couple places? So we hit Blue Heron and Mad.
Okay,
Foundry.
I think we just got blamed for them deciding that they wanted to do the
Yes, you
the
did.
passport.
We're sorry that we made you drink beer.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
I mean,
You're welcome.
You get a free stamp if you drink a beer. So
Maria's not mad about it.
How many passports you into now?
That's the only, well, that and the Cleveland one. That's just
Okay.
the two.
All right.
Which is kind of usual. I'm not doing the distillery passport. We haven't done that in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Since they changed it and expanded it to Ohio versus just a Northeast Ohio one. That was nice when it was just kind of local. They made it statewide. Because I don't discriminate, so I'll drink spirits as well as beer. No
Yeah.
discrimination here.
I've seen him do it. It's happened.
I did a lot of Jack on
I've seen 'em.
Saturdays.
So Maria says, you're her favorite dudes. You see that? Favorite dudes.
All right.
So I was looking back at the schedule, and you guys, you're not BlabberMalt virgins. Been on the show before a couple times. October,
Third time, I think.
yeah, October 23. You were on in the BlabberMalt headquarters.
We've been there
Yeah.
twice.
We got, yeah.
Was that the Halloween? Was that the?
I think that was just
The
a
pumpkin
regular
beers?
episode,
Okay.
and then well, it might have been. It was the
And we
10th.
did
Yeah,
one
yeah.
The
And
pumpkin
we did
beers?
one for seltzer. That was the second one.
Okay, yeah.
Keith got wrecked. That was not a good day for Keith.
Speaking of yourself in the third term or third person.
Yes.
Well, speaking of beers and getting wrecked, what do we got here? I think we're all drinking the same thing here.
I'm kind of surprised that we're all drinking the same thing.
And what are we drinking?
So unfortunately, without being able to go to Hinckley and we have 14 different beers, we're limited today, but
Right.
we have some good ones here.
So
I don't
next
think
year
we're
point,
suffering.
So you normally carry about 14 beers at your Hinckley
We
facility?
have 14 taps, and then we have 3 hard ice or hard sweet teas as well.
Yeah.
In addition to the
Yeah.
14 beers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Teas don't have to be carbonated, so they go into milk jugs and stay cold, and we serve them.
Those are some of the KT line stuff?
Yeah, KT, the peach, the raspberry, and the pear.
No, those are very good. I do like your teas.
Yeah, it's nice.
Your hard teas.
Yeah, nice hard tea is
And
good.
they're gluten-free, if you've got that
If you're
issue.
watching that, yeah.
And they run at 6%, so.
Best of all worlds.
It is.
No, I
we
don't
do
s-
have a lot of people come in and thank us for making a gluten-free option.
Yeah.
That's not why we did it, but
Yeah.
it's worked out well for us.
Yeah, yeah.
So this beer, though, is not a tea. This is what?
This is
Chocolate.
this is a chocolate nut lover. It's our peanut butter cup stout. So think of Reese's peanut butter cups and put it into a beer. So it is all real. So it's all chocolate nibs, chocolate malt, and then we use peanut butter powder in it, 2 different types. We use a regular peanut butter, and then we use a chocolate peanut butter inside of it. So
I think I heard Keith may have helped with some of the peanut butter.
I did. Going from a 1 barrel to a 7 barrel to make it, it's a lot of peanut butter powder.
a lot of peanut butter.
Wow.
Lot, yeah.
So actually, I mean, that's an interesting thing you brought up. So you guys have been brewing beer at
4 years.
4 years
On a 1 barrel system.
on a 1-barrel system.
Still using the 1 barrel system today.
For some pilot stuff or some of the regular stuff as well?
Well, when we had the big system all full, I can't go 2 months without making any beer because Hinckley would be out of beer. So we subsidized by using the 1 barrel system like we always have. So we're
That's-
still using the 1 barrel until we can get inventory where it needs to be, where we don't have to brew all the time. We'll use the 1 barrel to subsidize for that. Plus, we'll do pilot stuff in it.
Okay. And so you mentioned, so this new tanks that are behind us, this is a 7-barrel?
7 barrel system. We have 4 7-barrel uni fermenters, 1 7-barrel bright, and then we have 1 14-barrel uni and 1 14-barrel bright. So
So what beers are you doing upscaling to the 14 barrel?
go ahead.
So right now, we just went out into distribution last week. We did like 6,500 cans to put out. So we started off with our core beers of the Hoppy Dude, our double IPA, chocolate nut lover, our Hefeweizen, our DTF Mexican lager, our pickle beer, and our Betty, the white chocolate albino stout. So those are the ones we're starting out with, getting them out there.
Yeah.
And then next run that we do to put out distribution will include our Gotta Love Bluebies, Blueberry Honey Ale, our Strawberry Blonde Forever,
If
our
you
Coke,
did, go ahead.
Hops in the Coconut Cream Ale.
And if you didn't come for the anniversary, you missed a Raspberry Rain, which is a raspberry lemon blonde that was extremely beautiful in color, and that will go into distribution
You guys
also.
tried it, right?
We tried it, yeah, that was very
Yeah,
good.
we ran out of that before the end of the weekend.
Yeah, we ran out of that before the weekend.
It's pretty good.
Our friend Janelle behind the camera here, she did, what was it, a 50K, 30K race? 50K this weekend, and she's like, I got to get some of that pickle beer to rehydrate afterwards, because the salt, it's a sports beverage. I mean,
Yep.
So you found it at Simone's in Lakewood, yeah. So
Healthy beer.
it's good to see you guys out there.
We've had, with us being close to the metro parks for Hinckley, we've had people that will ride their bikes or climb the cliffs, and then they'll come over afterwards, specifically just to rehydrate with the pickle beer. Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, for people who don't know, I mean, that is something of a little niche that you guys have, which is the pickle beer, and you do a couple different versions of it. You guys were the premier sponsor in beer at the Pickle Festival last year in Cleveland, I think in September, and you are again this year.
And we've already signed, so we are the only beer supplier for the Pickle Fest again this year.
So, I mean, talk to us. I mean, I know one of the old shows, we did have it. You guys brought a couple of the horseradish and stuff. I mean, for those that may not have seen that episode, what goes into your pickle beer that is unique and different than a regular beer?
So
Both of their
story.
pickles.
Both of our pickles, yes,
Yeah.
we dunk them in there. We should have called it teabagging.
I don't dunk mine, it's way too small.
He's got a gherkin.
Baby gherkin.
Baby gherkin. So, first time I ever had a pickle beer, which was before we
Stick
even
your
brewed.
gherkin in the firkin.
Yeah.
First time I ever had it, I heard about a pickle beer, Urban Artifact. Obviously, everybody knows pickle beer, knows Urban Artifact. Really disappointed with it because it was a hint of dill with the beer, and I was expecting pickle.
Yeah.
It's kind of what we do. We try to make our flavors in your face so that
Yeah.
you get that flavor. So that was one of the things when we started a brewery we wanted to do. We wanted to come up with a pickle beer that actually was pickle.
Tastes like a pickle.
So we brew a Goza. It's a sour beer. It's not really sour, like it scares
We
people
don't
off.
actually sour it.
We don't sour it. It's a Goza style, which is a sour style, but we don't sour it. So we're actually removing that from the label because it scares people when they see sour. They're like, I don't like sours.
we
And the
use-
pickle doesn't?
The pickle doesn't make it sour.
No,
You
the
get
pickle doesn't scare people off.
No.
Oh, no, the pickle doesn't. No,
No.
no, no, no. The sour does.
And the reason for using the Goza base is because it's brewed with salt and coriander, both of which are inside of pickle brine. So
Yeah, so we make our own house brine. I'm sure people who know about us or seen us on the podcast before. We started out with going and buying jars of pickles and emptying the juice and using that, and it got to a point where we couldn't figure.
Can't
we-
eat
we
enough
figured-
pickles.
we ate enough pickles, and we'd sit on a shitter while one of us would stay out and
Yeah,
man the brew system.
100%. We ate a lot of pickles, but we decided to make our own brine. So we came up with a brine that we liked, and we add that in at kegging. So really, it's like drinking pickle juice out of a jar. You don't really get any beer flavor out of it. It is pickle.
Yeah, Rick Bell commented, he's like, pickle beer? Hell yeah. Yeah, Rick, you got to check this out. This is something.
5-6%.
It's a little over 5% on average, is where it's at.
And we started out at 4.3, and we've
Yeah.
taken it up a little bit. But we do offer dill. We offer spicy, and our garlic horseradish.
Which we can never keep garlic horseradish
Right.
on tap. It goes as fast as it's put on tap.
And we're working. We've worked. We really haven't followed through with it, but we want to come up with a fourth, so we do a mixed 4-pack. And we did do some brine that was a sweet pickle.
Sweet.
We need to figure that out. We did a bread and butter early on. That was not good, so we will not have a bread and butter.
Okay.
But we'll see how the sweet goes. But when we started, we thought we started in May, and we're like, oh, this is going to be a seasonal. We'll pull it off after the summer. And we were threatened with death if
We
we
were
took
yelled
it
at.
off tap.
Yelled at.
So, has the pickle been since the beginning? Is that one of
It's
the
a
original
staple.
beers?
Yeah, it's one of the original beers.
We
Yeah.
opened with it, and we've never taken it off tap unless we run out.
And like he said, we wanted it to be a seasonal so we can make room for the porters and the stouts and stuff like that for fall and winter. But we got yelled at as soon as we took it. It was 2 weeks off, and we were yelled at so bad that it was like, okay, let's put it back on.
We actually started with 12 taps, and we added 2 more just so we could put the pickles on full time.
So if I were to go to Hinckley right now, which I did a little bit ago,
We mentioned.
what beers would I find that are on tap right now that were there 4 years ago?
That's on tap, 0 beer 30. Both pickles, Hefeweizen,
Buzzard's Brew.
Buzzard's Brew, or Pilsner.
Dude is not on tap, but it's in cans.
And that's one of the
And it's already
originals.
sold, so.
Yes. So those 5 I know that are on tap. I don't know exactly what we have on tap, but those are 5 cores that we started off with. And like we started off late spring, early summer. So when we started, we had our coconut cream
Chocolate
ale.
Lover wasn't original.
Chocolate Lover was, yes. But we had our coconut cream on, and we had our strawberry blonde on, and stuff like that, which we're bringing in now. So those are originals. Everything that we've brewed since we've opened, we continuously brew. There's one beer that we haven't brought back out, which is our honey blonde, because when you go into a 1 barrel and you're getting six barrel kegs, and then you're trying to split one batch into 3 and 3, you run out real quick. And strawberry is very popular for us, so we decided let's not do the honey, let's just do the strawberry so we have more. So once we get the 7 barrel going, we could probably bring
On the 1 barrel system.
the honey back.
Yeah.
But that's the reason that we haven't brewed that. But everything else we continuously brew.
And you both brew, or
Not anymore. I don't brew anymore the way jobs work. We have full-time jobs, so I can't be here during the day. So Chad can sometimes work and brew. So that's what works for us. So he'll do all that during the day, and then at night I'll come down and keg, fix stuff, get stuff ready for beer fest, whatever needs done. Yeah.
so Chad? I mean, what is your favorite beer or beer style to brew? I mean, is it the pickle, or is there something else that you
No,
really enjoy?
It's a beer I never thought would be my favorite, but we make a Munich Dunkel. It's called Dunkelicious. That by far is my favorite beer. And it's crazy because Chadwick's, which is our first beer we ever made, which is our German Hefeweizen.
Home brewing.
Home brewing, yeah. And I mean, I love that beer, but if Dunkel is on, I'll pick Dunkel over Hef every day. It's just the way that it comes out and the yeast that we use inside of it and the process that we use. It's a true German Dunkel that has all the right characteristics that you're looking for inside of that Dunkel beer. So
I mean,
And I know folks like it a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When it's on, it's hard to keep on. That's what's crazy about it is there's not been too many beers that we've put on that we don't have to worry about. Are we going to be able to last for a couple weekends with it, because it usually just goes so darn quick that it's hard to keep up with stocks.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we're small batch, we're one barrel, so we don't have a ton of it when
No.
we brew it, so we do go through it pretty quick.
Yeah. Do you feel like this system gives you a little bit more breathing room to kind of think about
Yeah.
plans for the future? And
Yeah, the big system definitely gives us breathing room if we can get past this initial process. So when we brewed the first 6 beers on it to go into distribution, our thought was, okay, we have a sales guy come on, because again, Keith and I have full-time jobs, so we don't have time to go out and try to sell what we make. But we knew that we've had so many companies, so many package stores, so many restaurants, bars that have reached out to us that want to put our stuff at their location, and we kept turning everybody away because we just couldn't support it. So with us going to the big and then getting a sales guy, Mike's done all the work and everything to get us out there, and unfortunately he's oversold on some of the beers, which is a great problem to have. The downside is yeah, the downside is now you got to tell those customers that came in last that you're going to have to wait a little bit because we've got to brew it again.
But you tell them that's worth the wait, so.
It's definitely worth
You
the wait.
create
Definitely
supply
worth
and
the wait.
demand.
Yeah, supply and demand.
Yes.
I mean, we're at the mercy.
Like
We don't
many
have a
other
canning-
industries, yes.
Yes.
we don't have a canning system, so we're at the mercy of a third party to come in and can, which Ironheart was great for us a week and a half ago. They came in and did all the canning for us. Great bunch of guys, great process, and they turned it around so quickly. I never thought that it would be that quick. So kudos to those guys for helping us out, turn it around quickly, and getting us where we were able to, because that day that we were brewing, once we had everything packaged, we actually delivered that day to a couple of the locations here in Medina and Brunswick. So it was pretty cool to actually, the day of, get
take
it
it
out
out
and
there.
into the stores and stuff like that. So
It's a learning experience for us, just like everything, first time you do it, I mean, we had no clue what we were doing.
yeah.
But now we do, so it'll be easier next time.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny how that works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, so do you feel like you're 50% there, 80% towards being able to look above the, the trees and see like where you need to go next?
I wish we were 50%. I think we're probably at around 30 because
That would be great.
we're already oversold on a couple of the primary beers that we did for distribution. So I already know that I have to put those right back into the big system just so I can supply the demand for it. And then I've got to get the 4 spring and summer beers out. The nice thing about Strawberry Blonde and Raspberry Rain, they're both blonde, so I can double batch those.
Same base.
Yep, same base beer, and then split them into 2 different and add all the fruit. And again, as Keith said, we're not shy when it comes to the taste. The taste is the taste. When we're doing a 1-barrel batch of Strawberry Blonde, there's 68 pounds of strawberries, real strawberries, that goes into that beer. That's why that beer tastes like a strawberry.
Yeah.
When we go into the big system, what did we figure out?
68 times.
Times 7. I mean, it's going to
it's
be
a
a
lot of pounds.
heck of a lot of poundage of strawberries that go into it.
It's like 100 acres.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well go in and purchase the strawberry field and
Hey, Red
put it in
Wagon.
there. So, but I
Now,
mean,
are
it's,
you using a puree or?
no, strawberries.
Frozen strawberries.
Frozen strawberries.
And
Frozen
there's,
strawberries gets rid of the bacteria.
Correct.
and there's no issues with, I mean, are there seeds or anything to deal with for
So
your
we put
system?
it into a bag right now so we can make sure that everything stays contained. And even in the big system, so we'll put the base beer into the uni so we can ferment and everything. And then we'll transfer out of the uni into the bright and put it right on top of the fruit. So I don't have to worry about, I could put the fruit still in bags and everything in the bright, transfer the beer on top of it, and I still get all the taste and everything for it. Fermentation is already done at that point. You're just really looking for the taste of the strawberries or the raspberries, because it's real raspberries that goes in there too.
So one cool thing about doing it that way is breweries, you want to be consistent, right? You want your flavors consistent. Strawberry blondes forever will never be consistent. It'll be close,
Yeah.
but it all depends on the fruit. So sometimes it's more tart, sometimes it's sweeter.
Yeah.
So whenever you brew it and you go to put it out there, you're like, which one are we getting?
Yeah.
Like he likes the tart, I like the sweet. So we're happy whichever way, but it always comes out a little bit different.
So on Untapped, you should post that as different things so I can get multiple check-ins.
Well,
Yeah, different years.
we actually have customers that come specific times of the year in anticipation of it being either sweet or tart. Obviously, early in the season, it's tart because it's fresh. It's the early pick of the strawberries, and at the end of the year, it's the sweet side. So it's now our batch that we ran for anniversary, we actually had strawberries left over from last year. So it was the last part of the crop year. So it was sweet, which shocked everybody when we came out with strawberry blonde. It was sweet as could be, and they're like, "This doesn't make any sense." And we're like, "That's last year's strawberries. We didn't get this year's strawberries yet." So
Well, if Tom gets a batch of tart strawberry blonde, he's going to say, tastes like tart strawberries, 1.25. Don't like it.
Just had to get it in
Do
the
not
menu.
like. I did. I had to get that.
I did ask him about the raspberry rain when he was at the anniversary party. I said,
Yeah.
is this the 1.25?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see in the video. If it's too low, I have a little updated logo. It says "Now with more Tom" on there.
more time.
I don't
Yeah.
know if that's a good thing. If I would've known it
I'm
was
always
Tom
looking for-
instead of Matthias, I might have said no.
Oh snap! Oh snap!
But I knew Maria was coming, so I was
See.
good with it.
I can feel the love.
You know, Tom predicted he was going to get some crap from you guys.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, so that,
Yep.
I was gonna, earlier when you were talking about your, Munich being one of your favorites, it's really interesting, definitely the last few months, if not last 6 months of the BlabberMalt and going around talking to different brewers and stuff. It's very interesting to hear. I mean, the big sellers still seem to be the hazies and the IPAs.
61% of consumption. I actually just saw a new statistic, and the consumption of craft beer on the IPAs actually went down. And people are starting to go towards the more German style, the more fruit-based type of beer and stuff like that.
And that's my point was that, every brewer we talk to, their favorite style is a Pilsner, something very German, which again, that malt background, every beer should, in my opinion, kind of start with that, then you change it. But it's very interesting what's popular, but you're saying it's declining a little bit versus what brewers want. So I always feel bad that brewers are having to brew a beer not necessarily that they enjoy, but you got to make money.
But let's make sure that we understand the concept. So we as brewers brew beer for what the customer wants, not what the brewer wants.
Right.
Because if we did what the brewer wants, hops and a coconut would never be brewed because I can't stand that beer.
I'd come in and brew it.
But it is one of the fastest selling beers that we do because it's not about me, it's about what the customer wants.
Yeah,
And-
when we opened up, we had it, and Chad's like, we're not putting it on tap. I said, yeah, we are. He's like, no, we're not. And it was popular.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do love a coconut cream ale or a coconut blonde.
It's just
Yeah,
light and
I
refreshing.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you open a brewery, you're not in the beer brewing business. You're in the beer selling business.
Correct. It's about the customer, not about us.
I mean, we've been lucky because, like, when we started, we would both brew. So we had our home brew, 5-gallon, and he would brew something, and I would brew something, and then we went up to a kegel system. So then we split it, and then we went to 2 kegel systems. So he would do 10, and I would do 10, and I would do style I wanted to try. He would do style he wanted to try, and that's the beers we're selling today.
Yeah.
Like I said, we haven't not brewed except for the honey blonde. we keep on brewing the same beers, and there's some that I like, and some that I don't, some that he likes, some that he doesn't.
Yep. Keith's not an IPA person.
No.
Yeah,
I
Rick.
love IPAs.
Rick, Chad says they're not dipping
Yeah,
their
Rick.
pickles. That was not going on back there.
Rick, we don't use DE. No, we have our own watering salts and everything that we use, but DE is not one of them.
Oh, he's talking about the diatomaceous earth for filtering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so water made me think. So, Hinckley, or other places, and here in Medina, so well water. So the water is different, obviously.
Hinckley was well, so we couldn't use it. It was so bad. Like we actually took it and had it tested and everything, and it was so bad. It would cost us so much money to get the water profile where it needed to be, that we teamed up with a local business in Hinckley, Minnehaha, and Ed supplied us with basically RO water, if you will, and then we could add our watering salts and everything into it to make it the profile that we wanted it to be. And that's what we did in Hinckley.
And now here in Medina,
City Water, so same company, Minnehaha, came in and put a filtration system in for us, so we could take all of the minerals out of the city water and put it really close to where we wanted to have a starting value, and then we still do our watering salts to put the profile where it needs to be.
Okay.
So a little bit different process, but it was much cheaper to go city water, much less work to do to get that profile where it needs to be.
especially if you're brewing much bigger system too.
Much bigger
Yeah, you're
system.
not dumping 5 gallons at
Yeah.
a time into this thing.
Yeah, we were doing 5-gallon jugs into
Oh no.
I used to be, when we started, when we were on the kegel systems, we would go to Giant Eagle and just buy
one
gallon, and like
1
we'd
gallon
have-
distilled water.
Yeah. It
I
was
thought you guys are preppers in there
they
for
probably
the
did.
We
apocalypse.
always started the hard way. Always.
Always.
We've always started the hard way.
Should have been 2 Idiots Brewing, not Hoppy Dudes.
It's not a bad name though. I mean,
100%.
Yep.
yeah, that's not a bad name. 2 Idiots Brewing.
You can write that down.
I'm gonna write that one down. So, yeah.
You have any? So obviously, in the facility here, you mentioned that you got the bigger space here. So the plans to eventually kind of make this a kitchen, a tap room. Versus,
Yeah.
I'm right now. Again, I don't know if we'll tour around, but it's you've just got the brewing system here at the moment.
Yeah, tap room first. We have to get the location open. The building total is what, 9,600 square foot?
Just under 10,000.
Yeah, that's front and back both. Just in the back area where the brew system is at, sits at around 4,700, something like that. Half of it's being taken by the brew system, so the other half we plan on opening up as a tap room.
So kind of where we're sitting here.
Well,
Where we're
build a bar
sitting-
right over there.
Yeah, where we're
And that's
sitting
the
right
tables
now,
and
this will
chairs.
all be tables and chairs. That will go away. That's our makeshift fermenter room right now for the 1-barrel system. We've got plans on how to fix that. But this will open up first here, and then we'll use food trucks to try to subsidize for food, to try to make sure that we have some type of offering on the food side.
Well, you've got some nice large parking spots up front and
Yeah.
in back for that. So that'll be very
Yeah.
nice to have food trucks and.
Nice space on the side, so when you come up the drive.
It looks like a patio almost out
Yeah,
there.
and we're actually going to make that an outdoor patio, so I mean it'll be plenty of room for a nice outdoor space and everything. And then down the road we'll open up the front as far as the kitchen and stuff like that. We're thinking about looking at the front for tap room also to start, but we're trying to figure all of that stuff out. But top priority is the back, to get the back open. So
I mean, I know it's a hard question. Are you thinking sometime later still this year? Or?
It will have to be
it
this year.
definitely is this summer.
Oh,
I can't give you when, but it will definitely be this summer.
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's great.
we will be open before the leaves start falling.
Before the Pickle Festival.
You heard it here.
Before the Pickle Fest. If everything works out right, it'll be before the Pickle Fest, yes.
So just like you said, we always do it the hard way. We got in here thinking, oh, no big deal. We roughly think we know what we got to spend to get that all done. It was about 20 times more than we thought. And at that point, we're like, well, we're in a building and we don't have that money, so what are we going to do? So now we're starting to get in distribution, help us get some money out of there here. And then we decided, instead of putting all the money over there, because we don't own the building,
Yep.
that's a lot of money to put in there. We'll just get this open to where people can come in.
Well, this kind of ties back in. Rick asked earlier, since you've been on the BlabberMalt show, does that mean they're BlabberMalt sluts? So if you were sluts and you sold yourself, you can make plenty of money.
Have you seen me?
To I'm looking right at
Why are you
you.
laughing?
We would, if we would never be the sluts, we would put a stage up if anybody wanted to be, but it would not be the two of us that were up there.
Okay.
We want to
all
bring
right.
people in, not
Yeah.
keep them away.
All right.
We don't want to scare
We're
them.
hiring that out. Yeah.
So I was going to say, Chad, when we came in earlier today, you were back there brewing some stuff up, and if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, but I'm going to go down the ice cream beer path. Is that?
Yeah, so we're trying to, we've got Ashland Ale Fest coming this weekend, and we had such a large cry for what we took last year. So last year was our,
Smoothie beers.
last year we took Orange Gasmic, which was our orange creamsicle smoothie beer, to Ashland.
That's the one that was in the brackets this year, right?
Yep.
Yes, and it, by all means, we were out of that beer before we were even an hour into the Ashland Ale Fest. I mean, it was already gone. So this year, we are doing another smoothie beer. I am not going to tell you what it's going to be because I want that to be a surprise before we get down to the Ashland Ale Fest. So all of you, you people from Ashland that are coming to the Ashland Ale Fest, you'll find out on Saturday
Well, wait a minute, though.
what
Maybe,
that's going
maybe
to
we
be.
could see how many viewers we have from the BlabberMalt show. What if you kind of let it out and we could see if someone comes up to you, we'll know that they heard it on the BlabberMalt show.
Oh.
This would be an exclusive.
It is a smoothie. There is some graham crackers in it. There might be some cheesecake in it, and that's about all that
Well,
I'll...
you heard it here first on the BlabberMalt show.
Any lime? Is there lime?
No lime.
Oh,
No
not a
lime.
key lime pie,
No.
no. All right.
Nope.
That
But-
would be a pie, not a cheesecake, Tom.
So, yeah, and so that is one
So
of
I'm
the
not a
things that we...
baker, all right?
That is one of the things that we want to do with the big system. So the nice thing about the smoothie beer is we can really play with it. It's the base beer, just like our blonde is for our multiple different types of blondes. The smoothie beer is a base beer. So it's brewed the same way. It's the same pH levels. Everything is the same. And the nice thing is if we put it on the big system, now we can take it down to our 1-barrel fermenters, which is our test batch side, and we can do what we've already talked about doing is a cake series on smoothie beers. So pineapple upside down cake, German chocolate cake, birthday cake, and some other cheesecake types that are out there. We talked about doing a pie series, so key lime pie, lemon meringue, things like that. So we've been talking about doing a lot of playing with the smoothie side, and we're talking about a campfire series. So s'mores, dump cake, which I guess dump cake's probably not a good term for it, but it's what I call it from Scouts, where
I don't even know what that is.
so it's either it's pie filling and either apples or cherries or whatever that pie was going to be. That's all it is inside of a Dutch oven, and we call it a dump cake. So
There's so much
There's
going
a
on
lot
there.
of stuff
so much
going on
there's
there.
a lot of stuff going inside of
You
there.
throw a pickle in there and you'll be fine.
I know.
Throw a pickle in.
cheesecake.
And then we did talk about doing a cereal series too. So
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs. So we talked about doing a a cereal series on the smoothie beers also. So the nice thing about the smoothie beer, again, is it's the same base beer. Now it's just a matter of tuning in all the adjuncts that go into it to make overall what the profile is going to be.
And you are canning that, right?
We do
You
at
have.
the tap house today. Actually, when you came in, I was actually moving the base beer. Its fermentation is done, so it went over to a pasteurization process so we can make sure that the beer is shelf stable. So pasteurization, all we're doing is transferring it back to the boil kettle in the 1-barrel system, running it at 180 degrees for at least 45 minutes. It's running now during the whole session, so I mean, it'll be an hour or whatever it's going to be, and then pull that back out, and it goes on top of marshmallow every time. So we use vegan-style marshmallow marshmallow fluff that goes into it. The fluff actually helps with taming down the sourness because the pH level on the beer is 3.5. which is extremely sour.
It's delicious by itself, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it is. It
Really
is very
good.
delicious by itself, but we'll tame it down so we can then do the smoothie side of it, because when you actually do the smoothie side of the beer, you never taste the sourness. But we use the sour base because it gives us all of the profile that we're looking for, and the ABV on the beer to start is 12.2%.
And I kind of,
When you add all the fruit and everything into it, it goes down to 6.
and I kind of asked that as a leading question because, you know, there was a place that Maria and I go up in Michigan that does great ice cream and smoothie beers. We love it. We always want to bring stuff back for Dave and Matthias to try, but they can't because they're obviously not doing that pasteurization and other stuff. They're starting to. They've been doing this stuff for a couple years. I think they may have finally caught up to you.
Yeah.
But I know you and I once talked that you kind of figured out how to do that, because that is something different. A lot of places, you know, I know there's slushies out there. There's a couple that 450 that does it, but the smoothie and ice cream is different from that and needs a different process to be canned.
Yeah, 450 North out of Indiana, they do sours also, just like Drecker does. Ill Will over in Columbiana does some amazing smoothies over there. Everybody does their stuff a little bit differently. Oakshire out in the California area, which I've talked to Dan at Oakshire numerous times. He actually is the one that kind of got me into, you know, what the recipe is today, gave me the percentages and stuff like that. So we've kind of followed what Oakshire does, and it's worked well for us so far. There's not, so far, knock on wood, we haven't had one that's turned out bad. And I'll attribute that to the original base beer, where it needs to be to then add everything else inside of it. So, but 450 North does some amazing beers. Drecker does some amazing beers. Ill Will does some amazing beers. They did a cantaloupe. They brought it to the Medina one.
Leviticus,
It's just amazing.
That's my favorite.
So I mean, it is something that when you talk to a lot of people who craft beer connoisseurs, it's not a beer to them. In fact, they snub their nose at it that it's not a beer. And I get it. I understand where their head's at. But at the end of the day, it's something different. Step outside of the comfort zone of a Pilsner and a Hef and something like that, and try something new. And that's what the smoothie has done for us.
That's
And
kind of what we've always tried to do, is be different.
Yeah.
You can go.
You're doing well at that.
Thank
You're very different.
Thank you. And I'm talking about beers here.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
We've always wanted to be different. Like, we're not going to win anything for traditional. I mean, we have some traditionals like a Pilsner or a Dunkel.
Yeah.
Those are traditional where we could put them in a competition and they'd be judged as traditional. But like, we put pickle in to get judged
we
before.
got
and
annihilated.
we got annihilated by the judges because it's not a true anything.
Maybe it was the wrong category that we put it into. It's hard to tell.
But that's what we try to do. Is you can go down the street and get an IPA. You can go down the other side of the street and get an IPA. We're not an IPA shop. We're not trying. We do, but we're not trying to be like pigeonholed into a certain type of beer. And we're just trying to experiment and make different, flavorful beers. Like, we're very adamant about, if it says it's blueberry, you're going to be blueberry. If it says strawberry, it's going to be strawberry. It's not going to be a hint of something with beer. It is going to be that flavor. We believe very strongly in that.
Yeah,
And
there's
at
nothing wrong with that.
At the end of the day, we don't want to be an IPA shop, because yes, it's 61% of the craft beer consumption, but where's the 39% of the other customers? And we kind of marry ourselves to making sure that there's something on tap at our brewery that anybody that walks in the door is going to find something that they're going to select and drink,
Or try for the first time.
or try for the first time.
Which is, it's a great.
Yeah, you go to a lot of breweries and they'll have a Pilsner, they'll have a lager, they'll have 2 or 3 IPAs. I mean, you come into our place, you got a smoothie beer, you got pickled beer, you got a Pilsner, you got a Dunkel, you've got a Wit. We're all over the place.
Yeah.
So you come in and you might not be the exact style you want, but the flavor is there and you're going to find something that you like.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Diversity's
I
good.
mean-
That's,
I mean, the pickle beer, what do you call it? It's a good beverage. It's tasty.
It
It
replenishes.
it puts your
rehydrates.
electrolytes
Rehydrates.
back. Yeah.
There
I
you
mean,
Yeah.
a goza is, I mean, to me, because it's that salty, I mean, to me,
Yeah.
a goza style is
Yep.
very similar to,
Yeah.
you just give that other dimension of the actual pickle
Yeah.
versus,
And again, we don't sour it. That's the thing that scares everybody away. They think of goza, they think of it's a sour, and people don't like sours. And the funny thing is we don't sour it at all. We
you
take
know,
the
that's,
base.
people need to
No
understand.
souring
yeah.
agents go into it. It's all the
Goza's
brine
a
that
salty
does
beer, it's not a
everything.
sour beer, yeah.
Well, that's our
Yeah.
fault because like when we go to Beer Fest, we put up our signs of what we have.
Yeah.
And our label is usually what we put up there, and it is classified a sour goza.
Yeah.
So that's on us. So whenever they come up to get
What was that,
something-
your clever idea to put that up there?
Actually, we followed the Fed requirements. So if federal required us to go and label it as a sour goza because that is the style that the federal side went to. Now,
Yeah.
with that being said, we didn't know what we didn't know at the beginning. So we didn't have to register every one of our labels and recipes with the federal government, but we did. And then we went to the state, and the state's like, you didn't have to do all of that. And I'm like, well, it didn't cost me anything, but it cost me money to send my stuff to you. So,
Should we get into the boil?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't have the
No
sound
button?
effect here, but I got nothing going on in homebrew
Oh,
world.
yes, you
I got
do.
well,
You have your Crush IPA
Well,
that
I
I had
did,
an
yeah,
opportunity to taste.
yeah, I was happy with that. I
Turned
made
out very
a
well.
I forget what it was a hop, just got a trade name, Crush with a K. So I picked it up and made an IPA. It's like my standard IPA, but used those hops, Centennial and Mosaic, and it came out pretty good.
Very good.
So I called Tom up and like, you want a growler? He's like, hell yeah.
What's
So-
the percentage on that?
Like seven-ish.
where you adding the hops in it?
I'm
Is that
adding,
dry
well,
or is it in a boil?
I did an hour in the boil and then some dry, yeah.
You said Centennial and what else?
Centennial and Mosaic, yeah,
And Crush.
and the Crush, yeah,
Crush is
yeah.
your full-time boil, then Centennial Mosaic is later in the boil. and then-
Full-time boil, Centennial went in like 30 minutes and then Mosaic flame out and
Flame
some,
out, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so you're just looking for flavor and aroma at that point.
Yeah, just trying to get that. And it's
Mosaic
kind
is
of,
an amazing hop for as far as flavor and profile.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd just like to say thanks for bringing it for us to try tonight.
oh, yeah.
We appreciate that.
Well, if we were at the secret,
Well,
if we
Hey,
were
Well,
at the
yes.
Let us
secret
drink your
lair, we
beer, but
could've
we're not
had
gonna bring
some.
you any.
well, we're going to have you back then.
Well,
That's
we-
the answer to that.
Without Tom.
I was going to say, we have an opening on 6/24.
Yeah, that's true. We do. It's like 3 weeks, 2 weeks.
On the pro side, I mean, just go to the
Yeah, we don't have
website.
that other guy's not here. He can't really fill us in on what's going on.
I mean, all four places are up and running, and they're all open.
They're doing things.
Look on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, they're always posting events. I know they have like trivia going on and different food specials. So look, follow Lorraine Brewing Company.
We have no details for you at all.
Medina,
did no
Madison,
research
and Big Top Brew
at all.
House.
Did no prep.
How about you
Zero.
guys?
That's how we work.
So what do you guys got going on?
Anything coming up?
Specials?
Beer Fest is coming up.
Beer Fest, yeah, it starts the season. So we have Ashland Ale Fest this weekend. It's one of our favorite ale fests that we go to every year.
And that's in Ashland.
Ashland, yeah. The nice thing about it is Ashland Main Street, they actually shut down downtown. So the main drag in Ashland totally gets shut down. No trucks, cars, nothing can go through it. And it's nothing but breweries, food trucks, and multiple stages for live music. So it's
On both
really
ends
cool.
of the street.
Yeah, so
There's
it's
a band.
it's really cool. We really enjoy that one. And then Uniontown is the in-town brewery, and they make some amazing stuff. So we're with Doug and Anna for that. So it's really cool to be down for that one. The week after, we are doing the Bunker Hill. So Cleveland Beer Week.
Oh, yeah, kicks off.
So we're doing Bunker Hill. So we will have one of the holes and have beer at one of the holes for that.
You have pickle in the hole.
Don't know. Well, no, actually, I gave her Hef because we had it in package. I gave her Hef and DTF.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. So I gave her those two. And then same day, we just realized
Taste
that
of Cleveland
Taste
at
of
the
Cleveland were
Burger
at.
Fairgrounds.
So we're there. We're splitting shift. So
Yeah, it's weird because I'm
The
sure,
golf one's really early though.
It's very early, and the tent doesn't have to be up the whole time, so we just got to figure out when the
Yeah.
Taste of Cleveland needs everything, and then we'll accommodate for that.
So it's weird because whenever you get these beer fests, like they reach out to you, right? And they say, hey, here's the beer fest, you want to be in it? And say, yeah. And then they send back, say, okay, here's a form, fill it out, tell us what beers you're bringing, all that stuff. The Taste of Cleveland, I saw it on Facebook, and I went on and I said, we'd like to be part of it, and heard nothing. So I went like a week later, and I reached back out to him and said, hey, I just want to make sure you got this. Let us know if we're part of it. And then this morning, our sales guy told Chad, he said, oh, I see you guys are
You're
at
on the
Taste of
website.
Cleveland on the website. I'm like, okay, I guess we are, because
Yes, we're
nobody told me.
going. Yeah.
Which then we freaked out because we're like, inventory is very low right now with all the distribution, so we're like, oh, yeah, we're going to do this, but we'll figure it out. We always do.
Yeah.
I will do a plug for the Cleveland Beer Week. So
Yeah.
with that, go to the website. It's I mean, I'm sure they're going to still do something the actual Cleveland Beer Week in October,
Yep.
but they've really kind of spread it out with events. The golf one is the kickoff. The Saison Fest.
Yeah, we won't be in the Saison Fest, but we're going to do the boat one
The
later in the year.
offshore pour.
Yeah.
We'll be there for that one actually.
And hopefully we'll get in and stout it out loud.
Stout Out Loud. There's the Hop Fest in October at Fatheads.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, check out the website, Cleveland Beer Week, and see all the different things coming up. They're literally spread out between now and November. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, they're fun events, good people, they're
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming up.
Yeah.
and Marie and I will be either pouring there for Lorraine or actually helping out with the Cleveland Beer Week crew.
Hey, what are you doing on the 21st?
We're actually going to be in Fort Wayne visiting some breweries.
You can come report at the fairgrounds for us.
Yeah. Oh, that is
21st.
something that we are. So in October is the Smoothie Fest
Where's that?
over in Indiana. So 450 North has invited us over to the Smoothie Fest. So it's
Oh, what's the date on
it's
that?
in.
Yeah.
I've got the dates, but yeah, it's in
We're
October.
prepared as well.
I hope
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
October
let's see.
25th.
No, it is not that late.
Make it October
Okay.
25th since you can't come.
It's October 25th. Okay.
I
I'll
love
tell
you,
you here in
Tom.
a second.
Yeah, I can feel it.
So I wanted to, talking about beer releases, I did see this one, Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News. By the way, we do cross-post to them every night. Forgot to mention that at the top of the show. But there's, Hoppin' Frog did a collab with a pickleball club in Canton. The Hot Shots Zesty Pickle Beer. What's going on with that? They're encroaching on your territory. I'm mad.
Hey, you know
Mad
what?
about it.
Hoppin' Frog. So, as part of the Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News March Madness, we went up against Hoppin' Frog. Very intimidating. You're talking about a brewery that's been around since 2009. Won World Beer Cups, won
Fred-
all
Fred
kinds of
puts up
awards
some good
across
stuff,
the
yeah.
United States and world and everything. So you kind of get intimidated by that, right? But you know what? We are I shouldn't say they're similar to us because we came in after them, but we're very similar to them. So the nice thing about Hoppin' Frog is when they say that it's going to taste like something, it
Oh,
tastes like that.
yes.
And that's what I appreciate on a craft brewery, that it's not a hint. It is truly what it's going to be. So the beer we went up against was their peanut butter, hazelnut, caramel, chocolate cake stout. Oh, it was amazing. Like to die for type of beer. Amazing beer. The only thing that I would say is I wish it had a little bit more peanut butter, but that beer was amazing. You got every bit of that flavor in that beer, and that was what was amazing about it. So that made me even more scared because we're going up against it, and this is the beer that we put up. We just put Orange Gasmic against it. Like this is like the beer, and it was. They make some very good beer.
Yes,
We
they
won.
will.
We won.
They make some very good beer.
I was
We
gonna
were,
say,
we were shocked.
I've had their chocolate mint beer that, I mean, it's, if you like chocolate mint, if you
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Girl
Yeah.
Scout cookie, I mean, that's exactly what it tastes like.
Their shandies.
It's not my thing, but
Their
it tastes
shandies
great.
are amazing.
Or it tastes
Their
like-
turbo shandies that they make.
They make great beer.
Fred makes some amazing beer over there. It makes some amazing beer. So
Yeah, I go down there to their tap room, and they got everything's 9, 10, 11%. I'm like, I want to
is
try.
high
I
ABV,
want to try
yes.
them all, but
It
I gotta drive home.
It definitely is a high ABV.
Yeah,
Yes.
and there's some beer fests that they bring. They're 14 and 16% ones
Yeah.
that come in cans this big. If anybody
Yeah.
can see it, they're like 6 ounce, 8 ounce. Are they 8 ounce cans?
Yeah, it's nighty night.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
All right, we had some other winners.
Yeah, the other beer events I saw that Clag, which is another one of my favorite breweries in Sandusky, my hometown, at the North Canton Beer Bourbon and Barbecue Fest. Last Saturday they took Judge's Choice for best brewery, so that's pretty
okay.
cool.
And
People's
Ill
Choice.
will took picture. Yeah. And you
Oh
just
yeah,
talked about
Illwill did. Yep.
And the Smoothie Fest is October 4th.
October 4th.
So
Okay.
it's a funny thing about Clegg Brewing. So they're doing it's the 30th year anniversary for Tommy Boy.
Yes.
So they're doing the
Oh, yeah.
Holy Schnikes Festival in Sandusky. Yeah. It's the same weekend that Clegg Brewing's doing the festival, so they got all the beer for that festival. So we're gonna go to it. It's gonna be pretty cool. Go drink their beer.
I had to read the article because I wasn't quite sure of the reference, but now I understand the reference to the Tommy Boy
Yeah.
in
What?
the movie.
What?
Not one of my favorite movies.
What is wrong with you, Tom? We
We're
can't be
looking.
friends.
This just in: the BlabberMalt Show is looking for another co-host. So send your applications
Hey
in.
Maria, do you like Tommy Boy?
The movie?
So Maria,
Yeah,
will
Maria,
come
come over here.
All right. she-
Well, we already talked about the Ashland Ale Fest.
Yeah, that's coming up.
And then there's also the.
Out at Auburn Acres, they're doing the Geauga Beer Fest.
I thought
So-
you guys were going to that. You're not going to that?
No, which is weird.
So the one in Geauga is 11 to 4. Ashland is 4 to 8. You could do both.
I can't be in Geauga and Ashland.
No,
at
I
one
mean
time.
as a participant.
Oh, as a participant.
Participant, you could do it.
Yeah, we only have one tent.
It would be ill-advised, but it could be done. But
We'll stick,
Challenge accepted.
we'll stick with Ashland.
yeah, that sounds. I mean, I like. There's we did in Pittsburgh, in Bellevue, we did. They have a similar thing. They close off the streets, and you go around, and local businesses participate, and you go around and have beer, and they got bands and stuff. So I'm picturing the same thing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
fun time.
It is a really great time.
It's like a small town feel.
It is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful downtown
Yeah,
there.
it's a beautiful downtown. Yeah. All the old style buildings and everything. I mean, it's a really cool town. So.
How far is Ashland from here? Just
40.
35
Yeah.
minutes, 40 minutes, yeah, something like that.
Straight down 71.
yeah.
Very close to Phoenix. Mansfield. Close to
Yeah,
Mansfield?
Yeah.
Before Mansfield.
Yeah, it's before.
Yeah, Mansfield's probably another 15.
71 to
Almost halfway between here and
71 to 250, and then 250 in to connect with 42, and 42 goes right into Ashland. So,
Yeah, sounds good.
so I'm
So-
the navigation side of the house, and my wife does it all the time.
Yeah, I'll just put it in the phone. I'll find it. Well, yeah, but you go down to
Yeah.
the Sunoco
Yeah.
station, take a look. Yeah,
When you see a tree that has an arm on it, turn left.
yeah. So we like to highlight a couple of our favorite music events coming up. Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip is playing at the local in Strongsville this Saturday. So after you go to the Geauga Beer Fest and you go out to Ashland, then go over to Strongsville and you can go to
If
his
you can
show.
if you can stumble in.
Yeah. Get an Uber because you'll be half dead by then, but you could do that. I got to say, the Iron Maidens. I wore my Iron Maidens T-shirt. They're coming up on the 21st, a couple weeks, with Paradise Kitty playing at Rockin' on the River. So we're hoping to get some people to meet up at Lorraine Brewing Company. We'll take the water taxi over, go to the show. Tickets are $10 in advance, 15-day show. Doors are 5:30, so I figure we'll head down 4:30, have about 6 beers at LBC, and then take the water taxi over. Iron Maidens, come on. Paradise Kitty. I asked my wife. She was going to go do a girls' weekend in Marblehead while I was doing that, and her girlfriend's canceled on her. So I was like, "Are you going to go to the Iron Maiden show?" She's like, "Nope, still not going." I'm like, oh, harsh. So you guys Iron Maiden fans? Iron Maidens?
love Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
Yeah,
see?
80s. Love the 80s music.
All right. Tom's going, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the hair for it.
Neither do I, dude.
That's okay. My brother-in-law's in a big hair band,
Yeah,
and he's bald.
Bald. Yeah.
it doesn't matter at this
That's what
point.
wigs are for, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna get Matthias is going to that, and I'm gonna get him to go to
You
that.
good about that? All right.
Okay.
He's got the
So-
mullet going, so he should be good.
Well, no,
No, it's gone.
He cut that.
He cut the mullet.
Cut the
I don't know.
mullet.
He didn't show up, so we wouldn't know.
Yeah, we wouldn't know. I haven't seen him in weeks.
We'll start posting pictures.
Yeah.
All right.
Sometimes it's getting to be, oh, we got to wrap this up. So, hey, man, if you have questions and you want to email us, nobody ever emails us, but blabbermalt@gmail.com. Or you can comment on one of the videos. That works just as well.
Rick had some comments there. What-
Yeah, he
Rick
said,
was
oh,
saying
he
it's
says,
cheaper than wheat to make
he said, is it cheaper to make a wheat beer? By the way, not a fan of it. Okay.
of what, pickle?
Wheat beer.
He's not a fan of wheat beer?
I don't think he's a fan of wheat beer.
Okay. We were
Um,
talking about pickle during that time, so I didn't know if he was talking
He was
about
asking
using
if-
pickle base, or using the wheat as a base instead of sour goza.
Nah, I just think he was thinking maybe wheat is cheaper than barley, but not really.
No, it's
It
not the
might be
same
m-
price.
Anymore.
No,
It's
the
actually about the same price.
yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. I was just saying, I
Janelle's
wanna-
sister Jen says, or horns up. So
Horns
horns
up.
up to her.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys for having us out here tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
So again,
we appreciate you going to both breweries.
Yeah, I know. I had to see
Did
them
you
both.
have a beer at
I
the
never.
other?
No, we
No,
didn't.
we had a rest
I
over
was
here,
gonna
so-
do a craft. I was gonna paint a
You were
thing.
gonna do a craft?
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna
So-
stay.
Been good.
this place is not open yet, but you guys are on Pearl Road here, so we won't give the address so people don't show up here yet. They can follow on Facebook or other places to see you. But if people want to go to your Hinckley facility, which is in Hinckley,
Yep.
and where exactly is it to find you guys, and what are your hours?
1369 Ridge Road in Hinckley. What do we have for hours now?
We're open Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
So during the week is 5 to 10. Yeah, 5 to 10.
Thursday.
Thursday, Friday's 5 till 11. Saturday is noon till 11, and Sunday is noon to 8.
And then where can they find information? Facebook, Instagram, where you guys usually post stuff?
Facebook, Instagram, hoppydudebrews.com. We will be, Julie's working right now on a list of everywhere you can find us in distribution. We're out in Toledo, we're out in Willoughby, we have like 70 places all over.
Painesville.
Worcester,
Worcester.
Wadsworth.
Nice.
So,
North Canton.
a
So
lot,
if you're-
lot in Lakewood, we got a lot in Parma, North Royalton, Strongsville, Westlake.
Yeah.
So you want to know where you can find us? It'll be on the website. Are you put it on Facebook too? Yeah. So it'll be on Facebook on our website. You can find out what we have on tap if you go to our website. Our untapped menu is on the website, so you can find out what we have.
Yeah, if you're DTF, you want to tickle your pickle. You want to, if you're
You got
a
a crop
chocolate
duster.
nut lover,
Yeah.
crop duster, you do all that.
All right.
So, what we got coming up? We got next week. We're going to be out at Four Paws, checking out Ann's place. We've never been there. She's been on our show a couple times.
Also, she's a slut also then?
And Chad said it. I did not.
I'm just asking because that was the question that was given. And,
She's-
Ann
she's-
and Kelly are amazing people.
She's my pony. That's all I'm saying.
Out of the maze.
And,
The 24th is open. You got a brewery you want to come on, let us know.
Or if you guys come to the
July
studio.
1st, we have Dan and Ozimba from Two Friends coming into the super secret lair.
he only has two
I do
friends.
have an idea for a show that I can take.
I don't know, probably.
All right.
So, like, follow, subscribe, comment, share the video. It really helps to get it in front of other people. And, yeah, that's all we got, except for this.
Except for what? Except for
Stay malty, Cleveland.